The music box, with its chipped case and sun-cracked paint, seemed to pulse with a life of its own. On its top, the ivory ballerina tilted precariously to the left on the gilded lid, defying gravity. Lisa had stumbled upon the weathered treasure perched on a bench outside her house. She immediately noticed that the key to activating the lock on the device was missing. Though this was the most intriguing treasure she had discovered on her evening explorations, a mysterious force held her back from picking it up. She remained crouched in front of the music box, tilting her head to take in its details.
Oh, wonderful.
Isn't that great?
What a great voice. What a wonderful voice.
Yeah, that is Nick Hill of nomagnolia.tv, who will get on here sometime, but I told him about Oleg and the book project, and he volunteered to make that trailer. So that was the trailer for the actual print.
The music behind it was very appropriate.
And that was created by another friend of Oleg's, Robert Ravard, a pianist who just loves the whole project, and he volunteered for that too. Well, everybody, welcome. It's so nice to see y'all. Marina, I like your wall art.
Thank you. Our beautiful child.
I have.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yes.
So should we go around and just do an elevator speech? Oh, hi, Marlene. I have to, that's why I was insisting that everybody RSVP, because then I can see who's supposed to be coming. So thank you for doing that. Hi, Marlene.
Hi there.
Yeah. Marina, Oleg, do you need any translation?
Приглашает всех. Она немножко объяснила насчет видео, кто делал музыку, кто делал иллюстрацию, чей голос вот это был на этом видео, которое сыграли. Вот. И теперь, наверное, будем по очереди друг друга introductions.
Okay.
I'm doing my best.
Doing great.
All right.
Alex can also back us up because he's got the language skills too. So
that's right, though it's much easier for me to translate the other way.
Into
yeah, that's how I work too. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good deal. All right. Well, Milu, you want to just give us your 2-sentence introduction?
Yeah. Well, my name is Milu Reveron, and I have been with the Ukraine situation since 2022, and I became one of the fellows to help with the fundraisings and fight against propaganda, you know, but the stupid propaganda of the Russia. So that's what I met Oleg in Twitter. And then everything started from there, you know. I like to read books, especially this kind of books. So that's what immediately when I knew that he wrote that book, I got it. So, and it's starting to read it, it's fascinated. And
it's
that's
really great, yeah.
Yeah, that's how everything here started. And to you, my friend Oleg.
Объяснила Мила, как она с вами познакомилась, в начале, в 22-м году, и как она работала с НАФО и с вами, и потом, когда услышала, что вы написали эту книгу, то она сразу ее заказала, и она очень любит читать книги, особенно вашу книгу.
Дякую, дуже приємно. Я пам'ятаю майже всіх, хто ще з 22-го року почав підтримувати нас. Здається, що перші публікації у мене були пов'язані з поїздками до Миколаєва, коли Росія окупувала Херсон, перекрила воду до Миколаєва, і ми возили воду туди фурами. І тоді, здається, я і почав роботу безпосередньо в НАФО. Я пам'ятаю перше відео, яке я записав. Я просто у Твіттері натрапив на таких дуже смішних собачок. От, і я запитав у Алекса Бонда. Вау.
That's my fella.
Так,
That's my fella.
That's
от,
it.
і,
Now, Ryan might not know about the fellas. Well, we're going to have to indoctrinate him.
і Алекс мені розповів про цю
Yeah, a little
спільноту
bit,
НАФО,
yeah.
і він мене
Yeah.
ввів в цю спільноту, і з того моменту. І я пам'ятаю перше відео, яке я записав, в Миколаєві є такий район Корабельний, він найбільш за все був обстрілюваний, туди майже ніхто не хотів заїжджати, тому що ти заїжджаєш, одразу поряд прильот і ракети, і шахеди там літали. І я оце відео там, де з собачками, те, що я записав, це було саме в Корабельному районі Миколаєва. З подякою НАФО за підтримку. І тоді Тереза мене вже безпосередньо ввела і познайомила з багатьма із нашої спільноти.
Rena, encapsulate that, or is there...
He's saying in 2022 when the full-scale invasion. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
No? You can, okay. Yes, I'm translating. So in 2022, when the full-scale invasion first began, he remembers the NAFO fellows very well because at the time he was a volunteer and he was delivering humanitarian aid to Mykolaiv region. And through Alex Bond, I believe he became acquainted with the fellas. This is like a movement on Twitter where people around the world just joined the ranks of fighting against Russian disinformation campaigns. And a lot of it was just strength in numbers. And then a lot of it also went into raising funds for the Ukrainian army, for the armed forces of Ukraine. And so even while Oleg was just a volunteer, he's already then begun working with the fellows, and he joined and became one. And that's why you see his fella, in his background. And so he's very grateful for all of the fellows who have since then, years later, continued to support and work for to support Ukraine.
And I think that there's some name for the fellows. It's like a distributed, decentralized organization. There's an official name for it, and I can't remember it right now. Of course,
it's North Atlantic Fellow Organization.
Yes, right. That's the second level understanding of it. Yeah. Anyway, it's little dogs, Ryan.
Yeah, it follows NATO.
And Anne might not know about it either, but yeah. Anyway, Ryan, you want to tell us? And I know you have to leave early, so let's. If you need me to run anything, I think I can find it, or maybe you can.
Yeah, I'm Ryan Page. I'm the I run PageVox Studio, which is an creative production company focusing especially on audio and especially on audio books. And I got on board with this project in July when Charlotte sent me a copy of this amazing book. I read it in one sitting, and it was just so in me to say we should do something together with this. And so we've spent the last 2 months pretty consistently putting together a project to fundraise for the audiobook, a full cast book with music and sound effects and everything for this first book. And it's pretty magical.
Huh.
Yeah, thank you. Marina, do you want to, do we need to translate?
Translate, yeah. Рассказали.
Марина, я
зрозумів. Okay, he understood.
Іноді я все можу зрозуміти, а іноді якось у мене.
Perfect.
Не вистачає
He's on it. He's with us.
Yeah, so
his English is getting better.
Big news is that it's Tuesday, right? 28th, 29th, 30th. Tuesday, we launch our Kickstarter, which we've been talking about earlier with Alex, who's running one now. And this will fund the audiobook. Ryan and his wife Aura are they'll be taking it forward as an audiobook. And maybe Ryan, when we finish the introductions, you can tell us a little bit about the cast.
Oh, I'm happy to. Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let's see, who do we have next? Oh, Anne, you want to introduce yourself briefly? And
Sure. I'm Anne Spielberg, and I'm new to your group. I'd met Charlotte. I had written a children's story some years ago and decided to post it on Facebook one day because nobody had ever heard it. So I got such wonderful responses, and this wonderful woman, Renee Missel, told me this should be a children's book, and she asked if she could send it to Charlotte, which she did, and then Charlotte and I connected, and we're moving forward on it now. So I'm a novice in this field. I've been a movie screenwriter for the last 35 years. Writing is writing, so it doesn't matter whether it's a screenplay or a book. You have your story and you follow it, and it's just the formatting is different. And I want to say to Oleg and my husband and I have been very, very strong supporters of Ukraine since the first, well, even before that, but when the invasion happened, we were just both sickened. And we've been flying a Ukrainian flag in our front yard now ever since then. And if one gets blown away by the wind, we go get another one. And
Yeah.
so, I'm very happy that my background is that my grandparents were all from Ukraine. My grandfather, my mother's side was from Odessa, and
that's Oleg's hometown.
And I have actually his guitar that he brought over in 1905 or 1910. It's about 125 years old. It's up on the wall there in the distance. So that's my grandfather's Ukrainian guitar that he brought to America, and he sang to us and he played it. And so I feel very proud of my heritage. I did make a trip to Ukraine once down the Dnieper River. There was a boat cruise from Kiev to Odessa. We went to Crimea. I've never seen such beautiful country, and I am praying with all my heart that it becomes back to Ukraine and stays Ukraine, and I love it.
Thank you, Anne.
Вы, наверное, много поняли, но ее семья из Украины, дедушка с бабушкой, она даже гитару дедушкину привезла, они привезли с Украины. И она была в Украине, и даже по Днепру они из Киева до Одессы вот так ездили, и они с мужем всегда поставляют украинский флаг перед домом, и даже если... они даже новый флаг выставляют каждый раз, когда надо. И она последние 35 лет в фильмах работала, писала для фильмов. Да. А теперь вот последнее время детскую книгу тоже написала. И они в последнее время читают вашу книгу, прочитали и продолжают поддерживать Украину.
Дуже дякую. Дуже приємно.
Thank you so much, Anne.
Yeah. We have a couple of people who are on. Dasha is here from Israel. She's our cover designer for the book, and Crystal she's on phone and I think has a bad connection. But Crystal's here from France also. She was with us last month. And Crystal, I think you need to activate your microphone and camera or something like that. It says I can't let you in until you do that. And if there's too many, I think we can allow 10. So I will just pop myself out while y'all are talking. And, I'm not absolutely necessary, because it's fun to have so many people interested. Let's see, who should we? Alex, you want to come on, give us a little spiel about your new project and your involvement with us?
Hey guys, so I am also born in Odessa. I lived there until I was about 14 years old, and then moved to New York City, where I reside to this day. I translate from the Russian, though I work with many, many Ukrainian authors. I actually just interviewed Victoria Hrivina for a digital convention that's going on today, Flights of Foundry. And
Flights of what?
Flights of Foundry.
Flights of
and I have a real life dog over here, instead of a drawn one. So our chief canine officer,
Yes.
her name is Leia. So she assists me with all of my writing endeavors. And right now we're in the process of using Kickstarter as well, just like this project will shortly. We're working on funding Unidentified Funny Objects 10, which is the 10th in the series of anthologies we've been doing for 13 years.
Unidentified flying objects.
Unidentified funny objects.
Funny objects, yes.
Funny objects.
It's the 10th book in the series, and we have published everybody from Piers Anthony and George Martin to Seanan McGuire and Esther Friesner, like a lot of really famous writers in our genre. That write humorous science fiction and fantasy. And so this latest volume, we're going to have, and not, by the way, we've also published a lot of screenwriters. So yes, writing is writing, as Anne said. We've published Eric Kaplan of The Big Bang Theory, and Jane Espenson of Firefly, and several other people who write for movies primarily. So I'm honored that all these writers entrust me with their stories, but of course it's very expensive because we pay everybody professional rates. So we're paying 12 cents a word to all of our contributors, and so we are on Kickstarter. We are doing pretty well. We're like 65% there. So we just need that final push to reach our actual goal, and then hopefully raise a little money on top of that so that we can buy even more stories. And we'll have an open submission window in December. We'll announce it as soon as the project funds.
That's amazing.
Do you want me to
translate to Oleg?
Олег, я рассказал про наш проект, который сейчас происходит, тоже на Kickstarter. Мы собираем деньги, чтобы создать 10-ю в серии сборников. И эти сборники, это сборники, которые с юмором написаны. То есть там популярные писатели юмора, как Пирс Энтони, как разные писатели, которые работали над мультиками, как Фьючерама и комедиями, для нас пишут часто. И вот мы уже собрали приблизительно 65% нашего гола, и когда мы закончим это сделать, мы откроем эту книгу, чтобы более новые писатели тоже могли нам прислать свою работу, и мы будем искать хорошие рассказы, чтобы опубликовать в этом сборнике. Я уже заговорился.
Чудовый проект.
Well, I guess we should continue with the introductions. We would like to hear from Marlene.
Hi, Marlene Silva here. I live in the same town as Charlotte, and I'm a friend of Charlotte, and I adored the book. I try to promote it whenever I can and get people involved in the Ukrainian community. And I'm honored to be here this afternoon and to see how I can support the efforts going forward. Thank you.
Yeah, it's great to have you. Олег, ви нас слышите?
Так, я чую. Зараз у мене щось з камерою. Зараз я... секунду. Ви продовжуєте говорити, я чую.
Okay.
Просто, мабуть, тут щось з настройками у мене.
He's having some technical difficulties with the video, but he can hear us. So, Марлин живет в городе, тот же самый там, где Шарлотта, и она очень любит вашу книгу и постоянно всем своим друзьям рассказывает о ней.
Супер.
Nice to meet you, Marlene. Alexandra, would you introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm next. So my name is Alexandra Isayevich, and when I moved to the United States from Ukraine in 1989, nobody could pronounce Isayevich, and nobody could pronounce my Ukrainian nickname, which is Lesa. So luckily, in Soviet times, you couldn't register a child under a nickname. Right? If you show up at the Registry of Civil Acts and tell them you want to call your child Billy, they won't let you. They say, "What's the full name?" So my parents wanted to register me as Lesa. They said, no, you can't do that. So I ended up with Alexandra in birth certificate. And then it ended up being super helpful because Americans could pronounce this. And I met Charlotte back in 1992. I was a student in Boston when I first arrived. And we recently reconnected. And the way you know a true friend, it doesn't matter if we haven't talked for probably 2 years. I feel this strong connection. I'm so excited to be part of this amazing project. And I feel like at a time like these, what we need is community and magic. And you guys have both. Oh, Charlotte is telling me that the microphone is not working.
It's a little, yeah, it's a little hard to hear.
And I will translate myself.
Yes.
Олег, я вам розкажу напряму, що коли я приїхала до Америки в 89-му році, ніхто не міг вимовити Ісаєвич, і ніхто не міг вимовити Леся. І, на щастя, в Радянському Союзі не можна було зареєструвати дитину під ім'ям, яке не вважалося повним іменем. І коли мої батьки прийшли реєструвати, вони сказали, Леся – це не повне ім'я, а як буде повне? Ну, і вийшло Олександр. І мені пощастило, бо англомовні люди можуть сказати Олександра, а можуть сказати Леся. І ми з Шарлот познайомилися в 92-му році.
Alexandra, it's very hard to hear you, so maybe Marina or Alex could do the translations. I don't know. It's really hard to hear.
Ви мене чуєте чи далі погано?
Ну так, дуже погано чути, але розібрати можна.
Ой, мені треба
звук з якимось, щось немов заважає.
Мені треба буде знайти додатковий мікрофон. Чомусь. Але просто сказати, щоб ми відновили свій зв'язок з Шарлотою. І мені здається, що найважливіше в цей час – це бути в громаді, бути разом і знайти магічне, знайти чудесне. І в цьому проєкті ми маємо і одне, і друге, тому я дуже рада, що можу брати участь. Дякую.
Супер, дуже дякую. Леночка, доброго вечора.
Доброго вечора. Аллилуйя.
Well, Charlotte's back out again because we have a couple of new faces joining us. Helena is the illustrator for book 2. We're going to have her introduce herself, and then the remainder of us. So, Helena, расскажите немножко о вас, и я переведу для всех.
У меня медицинское образование, я физиотерапевт, реабилитолог, и я рисую очень давно всю жизнь.
So she has background in medicine, actually. Расскажите, как еще раз, работа какая?
Я медик, физиотерапевт, реабилитолог.
Rehabilitation. Okay, thank you. Physical therapist. And then all her life, she's just been drawing. And so for book 1, we had a different illustrator that Oleg has found and identified, and we continue to use those illustrations. And then now for book 2, we have Helena. Расскажите немножко про вторую книгу и как вы с Олегом начали работать вместе.
Мы с Олегом знакомы 4 года. Я читала его первую книгу. Просто в разговоре мы общаемся периодически, поэтому я сама пригласила и сказала, что мне бы хотелось попробовать.
Excellent.
Я попробовала.
So Oleg and Helena have known each other for 4 years. She read the first book and she absolutely loved it. And she actually pitched herself as the illustrator for book 2. And she suggested, I'd like to give it a hand. And so this is where we are at the process. Actually, I'm not sure if everybody here is aware, but now that book 1 has been published, I am working on finalizing translation of book 2. And so we brought Helena on board. Yes, thank you, Ryan. As the potential illustrator for book 2. So, Helena, приятно вас с нами иметь. Если вы...
Приятно, наконец-то.
Yes, we're finally here together. I know we're all coming from all different time zones and places, and on from one planet, from all over the world. So it's all really great to have everyone. Let's have Dasha. Dasha, introduce yourself.
Yes, I'm here. I'm so sorry because I have this technician problem with my camera because it's now I'm in country Moldova. It's now. Я перейду на українську, так щоб було всім зрозуміло. Я зараз в дорозі, маю поїхати в Україну, а потім далі, і далі. Я вітаю всіх. Дуже рада бачити, Олег. Чи бачив ви, Олег, ту картину, що я вже намалювала?
Так. Мені Шарлот пересилала і Маріна пересилала. Я просто в захваті від...
ви бачили вже кінцевий варіант?
Мені здається, що це кінцевий варіант.
Так.
І я пересилав моїй доньці, я, можливо, говорив, здається, я говорив раніше, вона також за фахом, вона художник-гример, і вона дуже, все, що пов'язане з творчістю, малюнком, живописом, це вона дуже в захваті від цього всього. Їй цього не вистачає, вона зараз працює в компанії, яка створює якісь ігри для телефонів там, і вона просто там займається розробкою персонажів. І їй дуже не вистачає оцих всіх малюнків і так далі, і так далі. І я їй просто пересилаю роботи Олени, я пересилав ваші роботи, і вона ж там аж підстрибує, ще показуй. Їй дуже подобається.
Я переведу быстренько. Dasha is the beautiful illustrator for our book cover currently on the screen, and then also designing book 2 cover. She is on the road, traveling currently in Moldova, and then she will be going to Ukraine next, and then traveling from there. So her camera may not be working to its full capacity at the moment. But she did beautifully design this, and then she also painted a stunning piece for us, a painting that encompasses the cover, but also much more, that the themes from the book. And we plan on utilizing this painting in its digital format on the Kickstarter. And so for that, once we have Crystal introduce Ryan, we're going to have you come and talk a little bit more about the Kickstarter plan. But Oleg did see the final product, and he shared with his daughter, and everybody really enjoys Dasha's talents. So Dasha, thank you so much for being here. Crystal, if you could introduce yourself.
Okay, please. Let's see. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, there's been an internet problem here on our little area, so I'll just talk. I won't take very long. I introduced myself last month. Nothing much has changed. I hope the elections are going okay in Moldova, and there's not too much Russian influence. Nice to see everyone. Okay, and I'm interested to hear about the Kickstarter endeavor. I'll just stop there so that you can get going on it. Thank you.
Олег, вы уже знаете Кристал, откуда она и все такое? Она же была в прошлом месяце. Так, окей. Значит, можно переходить на следующего. Ryan, чтобы немножко объяснил про Kickstarter. Okay?
Can I just ask everyone if there's a private chat, so if you want to say something or come back on the screen to ask a question, please put that in the private chat and I'll get you back on screen. I just have to juggle all the people that are coming in and out.
Yeah, sounds good. And Ryan, take the floor and let's hear about this wonderful audiobook project.
Amazing. So one of the things that what we do for work is produce audio. And I use sound effects like that car to you feel like you're really in the world, We narrate a lot of books, and I have a community of voice actors, friends that we've sort of grown up together with in this world, grown up together as we've sort of trying to make this in this world as actors and voice actors, and what it's like to tell stories in new ways with your voice and with microphones and all those things. And so what we're doing with this project is actually putting together, it's pretty ambitious. It's not just a regular narrator. My wife is a great narrator, she was actually, we were thinking like that would be what we do. It was like, she's just going to narrate this cute book, but the book asked for more. It needed to be something that was as magical and experiential and beautiful and immersive as the book was. And so immediately in my head, I'm having these sounds and explosions and these voices that are here. And that happens a lot when we read books anyway, right? You hear all these different voices. And so what we pitched to these guys was, we could do this. We could do this with a whole cast of people and a couple of actor friends. And we were finishing another show, a Shakespeare show this summer. And we brought some over and we're like, can you record a chapter for me? Because I want to try some stuff. We sent it in, and it's just, it sort of captured our hearts and theirs as well. And so now we have a whole cast, which is kind of amazing. Let me see if I can find a picture of these guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it too.
I have so many folders up here.
I know, right?
So I've got this, is this how I do it here? I've got the cast picture up, but I don't know how it works. I'm not used to StreamYard.
Just a second.
Yeah. But anyway, so we're adapting the script to just make sure that it fits when there's actually multiple people speaking all together. But we have 21 actors who have already come on board to be a part of this, and we had 160, little over 160 auditions for this book when people were interested in being a part of it. Wow. And we were able to pick, there's more than 50 actors. We picked 20 of them to be in this. And it's pretty incredible what's come of it. You can see, if you haven't already visited, the page on the Kickstarter, I'm going to put that in the chat here, has a couple of videos that if you want like 5 minutes of just listening to how amazing this could be, just listen through some of those videos that are there, because you get to hear what the cast brought in their auditions. You get to see a little bit of what the trailer's like and the vision for it. And the goal for this is to be...
I don't know if Oleg needs a translation, sorry.
Олег просто немножко рассказывает о том, как этот проект начался, сколько 50 людей вроде бы хотели в этом проекте быть, они выбрали 22, и теперь у нас не только вся первая книга есть актеры, а даже некоторые из второй книги, так что он очень готов, уже целая команда людей вместе собрали.
Я побачив тоді в трейлері і голос Тіма, думаю, якось Тім, значить, трішечки з'являється в першій книжці, і так. То в фіналі в одній сцені. От, а тут, да. До речі, дуже цікава штука. Мабуть, більшість з вас знає, що це у мене тут кубик такий є, 20-гранний, і я його часто використовую. Я люблю розказувати про цю історію. Я часто використовую, коли бувають такі моменти, коли є, історія рухається одним якимось шляхом, і раптом я бачу дві дороги, і та хороша, і та хороша. І я просто не можу вибрати. І тоді я починаю думати, накидаю собі там коротко, а потім думаю, а ще є третій варіант, ще четвертий. От. І у мене є такий кубик, це, здається, з гри «Підземелля дракони». Да? І він 20-гранний. І я собі придумую там 20 варіантів. І просто кидаю, і от який випаде, мені цей варіант розвитку подій дуже подобається. І коли я почув ці семпли від Райана, мені дуже сподобалось. Я думаю, цікаво, що думає кубик? От шкала від 1 до 20. І я кидаю, випадає 20 максимум.
I think I know what he's talking about, but I have Victoria's video if it's loading right now, so if you want, go ahead.
Yeah, Ryan, it's funny, you were just mentioning the dice. So he brought it up again, and he's got the Dungeons and Dragons 21-sided, I think, 20-sided? 20-sided. And so when he writes, as I mentioned earlier, he likes to have scenarios, and there are up to 20 things that could happen in a chapter. He said, let the die decide, rolls the die, and then he goes with that. So book 1, book 2, that's how the events of the story kind of are planned out. He knows where it's going. He knows where it started. He knows where it's going, but how the events kind of occur is very much decided by that. So when he was listening to the trailers and he was like really enjoying the voice actors, he was like, well, let's see what the die thinks, and then every time he would roll the die, it would end up on 20. He said, okay, that's a score. 20 out of 20. Well done.
Perfect.
Okay, here.
Привіт, друзі. Хочу записати маленьке відео для тих, хто хоче розуміти, чого можна очікувати від цієї аудіокниги. Коли Райан надіслав перші семпли, перших, там 3 фрагменти було, вони мене, чесно кажучи, вразили. Особливо момент, де з'являється голос Акріда, у мене була перша думка: вау, як цей хлопець зміг влізти до мене в голову і почути цей голос Акріда. І не просто почути, а відтворити його. Відтворити так, як уявляв його собі я. І що я хочу сказати, друзі, що ця аудіокнига це буде для вас можливість не просто прочитати цю книгу, а прожити її так, як вона звучала в мене в голові, тоді, коли я писав слово за словом, рядок за рядком. Я дуже радий, що є така неймовірна можливість поділитися цим. Я не знаю ще поки, як будуть звучати інші голоси, але те, що я почув, я думаю, що це буде просто неймовірно. Голос Акріда, голос Лізи, особливо і діалог дівчинки, коли вона сперечається з голосом, який вона вважає, що це голос туману. Це просто треба почути. І я впевнений, навіть якщо ви 3, 4, 5 разів перечитували книгу, то для вас є крута можливість пережити її заново з новими емоціями. І якщо ви просто будете слухати її в наушниках, закривши очі, я гарантую, це буде такий ефект, немов ви пішли в кінотеатр і раптом просто вимкнули екран, а звук продовжує йти. Я думаю, що це буде...
All right. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Since the closed caption got cut off, it was just the format of the video didn't fit to the screen here. So basically, Oleg recorded this when he had first listened to the recording. It was like his first impression. He was very impressed with it, and he said it gave him goosebumps. He said, I asked myself, how can this guy, on the other side of the planet, how can he know what I was thinking in my head? How can he read my thoughts, about this character? Specifically, he's talking about the voice of Akrid. How can he know that that's exactly what I had in mind when I was writing this character? And it really gave him chills. He said, you can read the book 1, 2, 3, 4 times, but you'll never experience it this way until you listen to the audiobook, because it's one thing to read the story. And in this case, this is very much like an experience. You're in it. You're in the story. You're hearing the voices. You're hearing all the sounds. And he was extremely impressed. He said it's as if you go to like a movie theater and you close your eyes and you're experiencing the story. That's what the audiobook is. Every single element of a film, except the visual part. And so, he was just, very impressed with it. He said, I can't wait to hear all the other characters. And this is before he heard the other voice actors that we got to hear later on. So he's a huge proponent of this project, very big believer, and very excited that like our story gets to live on and take on the different shapes, and it stays true, to the essence of where it started when Oleg first conceptualized the story in his mind. And that's what he really wanted to stress, is that, Ryan and his team, Aura, you guys are doing such a wonderful job staying true to it and taking it to new places at the same time. So thank you for that.
It's the most exciting. It's the highest honor to have the author say, "Yes, that's what was in my head." It's perfect, right? And so we're really excited about what's going to come, and I think it's a really transformative experience. I was posting today that it's hard for us to lose ourselves in books these days because the world is asking more and more and more and more of us all the time, and it's such a privilege to be able to carve out the number of hours it takes to sit quiet and read. But when you get a book like this, to be able to give that to you, you can get lost while you're driving, while you're cleaning, while you're doing other work. And it can just put you in this world where you feel like you've had and lived that experience along with Lisa and these magical creatures. So we're excited about what can be possible. We just have to get it over the finish line. And we've got all these actors. I can't get their pictures up on screen. I tried to share it, but it's not working.
You will see it on the Kickstarter though on Tuesday. Everybody who wants will see it on the Kickstarter link.
Check it out, share it. We're going to post about it all the time, and we're wide open to chat about it. We're going to be posting lots of updates, and so if there are people who have questions, have them write to us about it. And we want to stay live and engaged to be able to answer questions and to get people really excited about what the possibility is. Oops, am I off? There we go.
No.
This book deserves to have it come to life in this way, and it's gonna be great, just amazing.
Он очень рад, что у нас есть такая возможность именно с этой историей, с этой книгой работать, потому что пока мы живем в мире, который не позволяет нам. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just doing my best without a technical director.
Не позволяет нам слишком много в истории входить и жить в историях. Но вот с аудиокнигой будет возможность ехать в машине и все равно в этой истории жить. Или там что-то делать, заниматься, работать, а все равно есть возможность жить в этой истории. Так что он очень рад, что именно ваша история, и такой проект именно с этой историей. Мы очень рады. Мы все очень рады. Hi, Kelly.
Let me see if I can run this little video of Dasha's.
Wow.
That's great. That's great.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we're going to take a high quality, high definition photograph and make some limited edition prints. Anybody need a translation?
Вы поняли, так была картина, которую Даша написала для вашей первой книги, вот эти темы. Мы будем делать скен, и потом эти картины можно потом отдавать как для Kickstarter, те люди, которые нам будут со второй книгой помогать, мы будем им отправлять копии, так что как подарочек.
Let me see if I might have to kick someone out briefly and put Dasha in.
I actually have to go because I have a panel starting in 10 minutes. So
Alrighty, thank you.
I'm going to kick myself out. It's very good to see all of you.
Yeah. And be sure and tag us for your Kickstarter so we can help you and each other. We'll cross post.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely we'll make once yours goes live. We'll do a cross post.
Thank you.
We'll take care of it.
I have a question about Kickstarter.
Okay. Good.
So it's a very almost irrelevant question, but I tried to get onto the Kickstarter for Oleg's book, and when I pushed to join, it required a password. And how does one
You just have to create an account. It's a free account, and then you'll be able to support Kickstarters anytime you want. So it's basically just a matter of, and you can either create a separate account or you can log in with your Facebook account or Google account or whatever into Kickstarter.
Okay.
So it's not going to require anything special.
Okay.
And you should just put like your password is Charlotte made me do it.
Or don't tell us your password.
Don't tell us your password. Please.
The password is don't tell us your password.
That'll work. That'll work.
I love it.
All right,
Okay.
bye everyone.
Bye, Alex. Thanks for coming.
I actually have to leave too. It was much love. We look forward to
Right.
seeing how this supports, and we'll see you at the end of the month next time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
In a couple of days.
Couple of days. Thank you, Kelly.
Yes.
Bye. See you.
We'll have a live on the launch date.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Bye, team.
Bye.
Bye. Kelly, what's up, Buttercup?
Sorry, I'm late to the game. But anyway, this is as fast as I could get here. I was trying to listen on the way on the road before I got home, and for some reason, technology was not my friend, so I missed the beginnings. But hello to everybody, and hi, Mandu.
Hi.
Great. And Helena, good to see you. And we have not met. Glad you could join us today. I didn't want to create an account either for Kickstarter. I have so many freaking accounts,
but Charlotte made you do it.
Exactly. That's not my password though. But I'm only doing this because of Oleg's book. Well, I actually ended up looking through some of it, and I thought, wow, I could really go down to a bad rabbit hole here. There's a lot of cool stuff, but anyway, they don't give you a bunch of extra. Like I'm not getting a lot of noise and traffic from Kickstarter, and so don't be shy about creating the account. They're not going to throw junk at you. It's a blessedly quiet account.
It was a really nice company, you know. It's
it was trying to go on somebody else's account to be able to contribute, that I found that there was a difficulty that I couldn't get onto the Kickstarter site without a password, but it didn't tell me to create one. It sort of assumed I had one.
Yeah. It may, I think what Alex was saying with if you have a Facebook account, other accounts, it'll try to make it easy for you that way.
Okay. I'll learn it. I'll grill Charlotte.
Well, Jesse, I think if you have a session with Jesse coming up, or maybe you already have that,
yes.
Jesse probably could tackle that too.
Yeah. So,
I just learn everything by saying, yes, I can do that. And then I jump in and do it. Sort of like you have, and with the social media.
And that, you've gotten me hooked on something that I avoided all of my life.
Oops.
You've suddenly got me hooked on Instagram. I keep posting.
See, I resisted. I haven't let her lead me down that path yet. But Charlotte's persuasive, but she knows what
she is. I did Facebook a little bit, and suddenly now I'm on LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, as much as I don't
I'll translate a little, if that's okay with you all, so Oleg doesn't get lost a little bit. Олег, они просто говорят насчет Kickstarter. Я не знаю, если вы пробовали нажимать на этот линк, там надо сделать аккаунт, надо записывать email, надо password. И просто некоторые вопросы имеют здесь люди, которые насчет, как именно пользоваться Kickstarter. Ну, а потом начали говорить, что это типа как Шарлотта нас заставляет на интернет, надо заходить туда и сюда. И Энн говорит, что она на Инстаграм ее отправила, на LinkedIn, она теперь везде там на соцсетях имеет себе аккаунты. Так что это еще новый аккаунт будет.
Я не пробував заходити туди. У мене взагалі тут в Твіттер зайшов, хіба що там обновив збор і знову працювати. Зараз дуже багато роботи, на жаль. З кожним днем якось ситуація складніша. Раніше якось більш зрозуміло було все, що відбувається. Наприклад, 22-й, 23-й рік, я пам'ятаю, як ще коли я був волонтером, їздив до лінії фронту, там якось було зрозуміло, що йде. А зараз, коли все більше і більше війна переходить у війну дронів, там тут Вчора проїжджали однією дорогою, все було нормально. Назад повертаємось, у нас був прильот прямо в нашу машину, там відірвало колесо, але, слава Богу, всі живі вийшли. Так що ніколи не знаєш, тобто все міняється буквально отак от на очах. От, тому якось на сторонніші ресурси мене не вистачає на все.
Okay. He's saying that he's connecting with Anne in the sense that like he's usually also not very keen on spending too much time online, but he today had a chance to log into X, or used to be Twitter, because he wanted to let the world know his fundraiser was closed. So we were all really happy about that. Yeah. And then he would log in, he would post, okay, fundraiser closed. Then he'd go log off and then go to work. And then obviously, you know, as a working with the armed forces in Ukraine, he's a lot going on. And warfare has been kind of moving in the direction of drones more so than anything else. And so he said, we can be driving down one road one way and it'll be fine. And then on the way back, they could be hit with a drone, which they did. And thankfully, everybody's safe. The drone hit the car wheel, but everybody was able to be okay. So
still
life is happening so fast. And so, you know, when he gets a chance, he logs in and checks in with people and lets them know what's going on. But for the most part, he's out there.
Yeah. And Oleg's first book, or his book in the original language, was, I think you posted it on Facebook also, did you? Yeah. So that's kind of like what Anne did with her manuscript.
Very similar. Вы сначала выставляли ваши главы на Фейсбуке, да? Вот каждую неделю или сколько раз?
Там була дуже цікава історія з цим. Я просто для себе вирішив, ну, я до того ніколи не писав казки. Мені завжди хотілося попробувати, але, ну, у мене трошки інший напрямок був, те, що я писав. І для мене дуже важливо було, як це буде сприймати аудиторія. А також є така штука, іноді ти знаходиш собі все, що завгодно, чим завгодно займатися, але не сидіти, не писати. От. А тут я поставив себе просто в жорсткі рамки. Я виклав перший той момент, там, де Ліза зустрічає Джонатана і знаходить шкатулку. Я опублікував цю главу у Фейсбуці, і я написав, що тепер кожної п'ятниці, тобто по п'ятницям у нас буде як серіал такий. У нас чітко в п'ятницю о 8 вечора у нас виходить нова глава. І на протязі цього тижня люди могли обговорювати, що відбувалося в попередній главі. Також перев'язувати, якісь пропозиції робити, там якісь щось додумувати, а може так буде, а може так буде. Ну, це було дуже цікаво спостерігати. Шкода, що вона не залишилася в Фейсбуці, тому що коли книга вже видавалася, ну, в оригінальному виданні, то видавець мені порадив прибрати все те, що я публікував з Фейсбуку, ну і, звісно, і пішли всі коментарі. Хоча це було, ну, мені дуже шкода було видаляти, тому що ці коментарі, вони дуже цінні були. Там
почему надо было удалять? Простите, объясните, зачем удалять?
Ну, тому що не треба було, щоб...
Публікація значила, да, окей.
Ну, і люди ж у нас дуже цікаві, деякі люблять, наприклад, брати якісь куски, і поки ти ще не оформив авторські права, вони вже собі щось там на якісь конкурси відправляють від свого імені. Ну, таке було. Я бачив, один конкурс був дуже цікавий такий, і я побачив трошки змінену історію із циклу «Одеса мого дитинства». Просто людина поступила, трошки поміняла імена, трошки поміняла локацію і все. Ну, таке було неприємно, звісно, але просто я сприйняв це. Ну, Одеса ж у нас це, як то сказати, достояння народу. Тож нехай історія буде так само. Мені не жалко, я ще пишу.
Yeah. So Oleg is saying the interesting thing about the first book is that he kind of used Facebook as a means to really communicate with his audience. So he published chapter 1 he said every Friday I'll be doing this. So he published chapter 1 on Facebook, and he was just giving people a week to like interact with that chapter, give feedback, leave notes, and so on. And he really was looking forward to this opportunity to really talk, to his audience and hear back from his audience and really take their feedback and implement suggestions and so on. And he said, this is how I also kept myself accountable to, like, I have to have a chapter ready by Friday because they'll be expecting it and they'll be, ready to give me notes. And so by the end, when the book was completed, and his publisher at the time was telling him, it's time to take it all down. Like, we can't have the book, published on Facebook if we're going to be publishing it through the publishing house. And he said it was very sad for him to lose the comments.
Oh, yes.
The comments were the most important part to him, because it was the comments section that shaped the book, because the people were telling him, this is what we want, this is what we can't wait to learn more about. And so just like his dice, it's the comment section on Facebook that really helped him develop the story. And so he also wanted to protect the privacy of his book, because he said at one point he might have seen a part of his story submitted somewhere on somewhere else. He's like, this is my book. So yeah, he misses the comment section on Facebook.
I took mine down also after I found Charlotte.
Thank you.
Just those comments.
Yes. Well, it's been really wonderful hearing from everybody and Oleg, and I wanted to give people a chance to ask any more questions. Kelly, you haven't had a chance to squeak very much, but how's your goose doing?
Oh, I had to leave the house yesterday. I had a goose follow me home while I'm walking to my dogs, and a goose decided to follow us home.
That's Anne's new children's book. It's the goose. Chloe and the goose.
I have some beautiful drawings that Helena could use to illustrate it. In fact, or pictures rather. But yeah, the goose followed us home despite my two very excited dogs, and stayed for about 24 hours. But I had to leave and go to physical therapy yesterday afternoon. And I have a video of, I called her Ginny Goose. I have a video of Ginny Goose running down the driveway after me, honking as I left. And I was like, oh, I got to the end of the street and I could see in the rearview mirror, she's sitting in my yard still. But by the time I got home, she wasn't here. And when Christopher got home yesterday evening after work, he actually drove to the neighborhood. Like, we're both really sad that she's left. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know where she came from. She's very, very tame. Absolutely delightful, and I couldn't help but to post on Oleg's fundraiser. It was very
That's why he closed. That's why he closed it.
На вашем фандрейзере Келли оставила фотографию гусь один там. Она говорит, это откуда-то, не знаю, откуда он пришел, он ко мне домой пришел, за мной, она его накормила, потом в следующий день его нет. Ну, окей, до свидания. Но эта фотография она поставила нам фандрейзер, и теперь фандрейзер закрылся. Значит, что-то помогло.
You're very lucky, Kelly, that it was a friendly goose, because I had one experience with the goose that he chased me until I had to jump up into a tree.
I only have two bad wildlife experiences. One is with snakes that end up in my house. And I mean, not bad things happen, but that just, I don't want them in my house. I'm fine with them going to my house. Yeah. And the other being when I was 3 years old, my mother beating a goose on the head with her pocketbook because it bit my thumb and it would not let go of my thumb. Oh, yes. So I'm actually scared of geese.
So
but this one just, it decided to follow us home, and it was super sweet, but it liked my hair and it kept eating my hair.
Where do you live, Kelly?
In North Carolina.
Можливо, вони щось знають. То гуси, то єноти, то калібрі. Я не знаю, там здається, цілий зоопарк буде.
So, Anne, good question, because Oleg is saying wherever she lives, there's always some kind of animals. There are always a story of an animal. And
oh my God, the turtles! The turtles! You go down on her dock and you put your hands in the water, and turtles will nibble at them?
There's about 20 or so turtles that I feed every day. I live on a fairly small lake in the middle of North Carolina, but a little south of Raleigh. And it's in a neighborhood. I live in an old house in the neighborhood, but it's in a very, very developed neighborhood. But my particular piece of property that I rent is kind of secluded. And so there is a lot of wildlife, and I'm able to hide that from my neighbors. Like I feed six baby raccoons and 2 adult raccoons and foxes. And anyway, my dogs tolerate a lot. But yes, it makes for lots of things to post and boost on Twitter. And just to bring it all back around, I will say I am not one to be inclined towards social media. I have accounts I don't even use. I've refused to go the way of Instagram and so forth. I did get back on LinkedIn just because of this book and promoting it, and to make some connections for the Kickstarter.
Right.
But I have to keep in mind that is what brought us all together in the first place. It was social media that linked us with Oleg, that linked me with Charlotte and with Marina. It is the sort of magical space that brought us into knowing each other, and then into growing this community. And that's why I hate being late for this, and the lead times, I can't do it at all. But the community aspect of just connecting with people that share a love of Oleg, share a love of books and stories. Our connections through Charlotte, having Ryan and his whole crew working on the audiobook, it just keeps expanding with all these extra circles. And so I'm willing to take one for the team.
Yes.
I'm not saying I'm going on Instagram.
How about Blue Sky? Oleg's on Blue Sky.
I went on Blue Sky, but I haven't been on it for a while.
Yeah, that's okay.
Because I was too busy trying to establish myself on Instagram, because
it takes time.
It does. Yeah. And the cool thing is we're all getting together in February. There's this sci-fi fantasy conference in Boston, and we're going to have a vendor table there with Oleg's book and any other swag that we can sell. And we're all, and Marina and Kelly have said, or at least tentatively pledged to come.
I would like to. I don't know that I can. I would like to, but I'll be there in spirit no matter what.
Start planning. But yeah, Alex Schwartzman, who was here, he's a speaker, and he's going to, I think, have Marina on a panel, a translation panel. So Marina.
Конференция в феврале в Бостоне, и они говорят, что у нас будет столик как раз для вот них. Who's this?
Hey.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, bye, Marlene.
Bye.
Bye.
Дякую.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oleg, when you mentioned about the word drone fair, one of my other friends that I support in different reasons, he had a car accident. He haven't specified what was the reason, but I think it's because specific what you're mentioning about the drones. I think a drone hit the car, and he broke ribs. He have a lung problem, but it's amazing. This guy, he do a lot of fundraisings. I support him, and one thing, one five, and you can see him walking. He's walking with a braces, and he continued doing the fundraisings out there. So yeah, the situation with the drones is serious. I've been praying for you. My heart is always like this. Every time I see something like this case, hopefully you're here. I can see you. You're safe, and I keep praying that you continue to be safe.
будет молиться и беспокоиться за ваше здоровье, чтобы вы тоже продолжали, чтобы все было хорошо. И тот человек, за которым, она показала фотографию, он тоже то же самое. Дрон ударил машину, и потом он должен был в госпитале, быть. Так что она всегда за вас молится и беспокоится тоже.
Дрони, да, це насправді дуже велика проблема зараз. Зараз, вже більше року точно. До того вони ще були такі каряві, ще вони не були такі точні, а зараз уже чим далі, тим більше, таке відчуття, що люди просто відточують свою майстерність вбивати один одного. І особливо, що мене дратує, це те, що росіяни, вони немов тренуються на тому, щоб дронами вполювати цивільних. У мене на очах було не один раз, коли, особливо це була ситуація в Дар'ївці, коли ми з моїм побратимом приїжджали минулого разу. Я не пам'ятаю, чи я розказував, чи не розказував про це. І ми тільки заїхали, ми почали розвантажувати ці всі коробки, і раптом почули звук дрону. Він зищить так дуже противно, так прямо по вухах. І навіть мало хто встиг зреагувати, там бігла дитина, і просто якимось чудом цей дрон промахнувся. І я не знаю, здається, контузії не було, але нічого не можна сказати одразу, тому що це стресова ситуація, дитина злякалась, там чи переляк був, чи це, якщо була контузія, то легка, судячи так з вигляду. Тобто росіяни просто літають, сидить пілот, йому нема чим зайнятися, він запустив той дрон, то барахла у них дуже багато. І він сидить і просто грається з пультом. І воно літає, цей дрончик, літає, побачив там дитину якусь, і починає її ганяти по двору. І у них прям, була ситуація, про це я писав колись в Фейсбуці, в Твіттері, коли дитина отак ганяла навколо домів, і коли вже дитина добігала до дверей свого дому, лише тоді пілот направив дрона прямо в дитину, і потім після того, там дитина вижила, але дуже серйозні поранення були, і глазний нерв там пошкоджено, і його волонтери вивезли в Київ, і наскільки я знаю, там оперували. Начебто з дитиною все буде нормально, але наскільки це можливо. Тобто шрами, там все це буде, і травма мозку дуже серйозна, там, але лікарі просто витягують з свого світу.
I will say, he mentioned drone warfare is only becoming increasingly more complicated and also more accurate in the sense that drones are becoming more advanced. And so he's saying it seems that humanity at this point is, working to improve ways of destroying itself or each other. And so the example he has is that in his own experience when he was volunteering, he's seen a drone in real life, even as a volunteer, not even, as a member of the Ukrainian armed forces, come after a child. And thankfully in that particular instance, the drone missed. And so the child was able to be, protected and taken into safety. But there are many other instances where he's describing how these drone operators, they're just sitting back in their chairs in the safety of their wherever, and they're treating it like a video game. And so what happens now with the Russian drone, with the drones that are manned by Russian soldiers, is that they literally treat their warfare as like a human safari, and they can just take the drones, they can go further now than they used to go before, and they go into these like residential areas, into peaceful cities and towns, and they just stalk children, women, the elderly, and they just call it like human safari. You're on your screen playing like a game, but you're really destroying human lives, just residents who are, just trying to live their lives in the best way they know how. And he said that in one particular instance, there was a case where a drone was following a small child home, and even by the time the child was able to come back to their yard and almost escape, that's when the operator just threw the drone, right at the child, detonating it.
That's torture.
While the child was able to survive, there was, life-altering impact. And so this is just one really ugly side of drone warfare in the past year, even just how quickly they're advancing and how far they're able to travel and how much more damage they can.
It's as if you don't have to take responsibility, whoever.
You never have to look at the person in the face.
No contact.
It's just you and your joystick,
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a very good point about
Yes.
the gaming society, and that a lot of the age of the younger folks that are fighting in this battle have grown up. I did research years and years ago related to media violence and the impact, particularly on children and youth, and not in the gaming sense that, gaming really wasn't big at that point. But I think that's a very, very good point that you make, and that not being able or not having to have the direct engagement like that really removes it from a sense of responsibility and agency.
Right, which is what social media does too, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Слишком много времени на компьютерах, слишком много времени на играх, и потом люди забывают, что это не просто картинка, и ты играешь игру, а если ты... Там же есть настоящие люди з другої сторони этого екрану.
Ніби з одного боку це так, але з іншого боку не треба забувати, що ці люди, якщо можна їх людьми назвати, для них це не просто комп'ютерна ігра. Да? Це для пілоту можливо, але не треба забувати, що вони роблять, наприклад, з полоненими. Да? Для них, наприклад, ми знаходили їхні телефони, в яких були записи і так далі, і перехоплювали розмови. Мабуть, ви всі бачили, чули про це в інтернеті, що, як вони кажуть, ми можемо тут зробити те, за що вдома буде кримінальна стаття. Наприклад, відрізати голову дитині там, і так далі. Для них це такий собі, прикольний досвід. Те, що не можна там, то можна тут. І не просто можна, а навіть декому з них видають накази. Нікого не залишать, наприклад. І так далі. Або там взяти в заручники дитину і таскати, і прикриватися нею як щитом від українських дронів. Це люди, які вони розуміють, що вони роблять. Вони розуміють, що вони роблять, коли вони вбивають людину, коли вони знущаються, гвалтують і так далі. Вони дуже добре це розуміють.
Я пока не забыла, я перевожу, чтобы каждое слово правильно сказать. I'm trying to remember everything because he's saying so much poignant stuff. He said that while it's true that the screen is like in between you and reality, he said there's lots of evidence pointing to the fact that in real life and in front of real people, the cruelty remains. Something about the culture and the way people are brought up, especially people who are drawn to warfare in Russia, are then seeing the war as like a free pass to do violence without repercussion. And so, I mean, I've seen these videos that he's referencing, like when Russian people are interviewed, young men who are being conscripted are saying, I'm excited to go because then I get to like kill bad guys and I get to be the hero. And then he said that there's a lot of like phones that were, reviewed after the and then there's evidence on top of evidence on top of evidence that suggests that cruelty is just part of the accepted norm, and that while we can say that technology can like shield them from reality, even when reality is in front of your face, the cruelty continues on. And so he's making the case that like we're truly fighting not just an individual but a culture a culture that has accepted violence as the norm against the weaker group, such as children, women, the elderly, and so on. So that's the point I want to really capture before he continued on. So
it desensitizes and it glorifies, and it gives people an opportunity to have a role and an excitement in life that they would not otherwise have. It's like stepping into a portal.
Yes.
To a suit, and that's I don't know, goosebumps just saying it, not good goosebumps. That is a very dangerous and dire thing to be trying to fight against, because it's just it's like almost like mindless evil in a way.
And it's spreading. It's spreading, and it's taken hold in this country too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, you know, and we live in that situation here. Is we are on the verge to be the most evil country ever.
Yes.
You know, it's just terrible.
And the fact
Well, I'd like to say something positive, and I'm going to tell on Oleg, because he is taking all the royalties from this book and giving them and creating a fund for children in the deoccupied areas, which were devastated by Russia, Kherson and elsewhere. And he and his friends, brothers, take the gifts and things that the children need for school and things like that. So he's taking all the profits from this book to just giving them back.
His big humanitarian heart.
It is. So that's
a big theme in the book, and you can see why it's a theme in the book, because that's who Oleg is.
Yeah.
And that's really what brought our community together to love him in the first place. We didn't know he was an author, and when we first started following him, we didn't know he was an author.
Me neither. I didn't know. You know, I just follow him as one of my fellas. You know, now one of my races that I support all the time. But as soon as I knew about the book, I say, "Oh wow, this is fantastic."
Yeah. So, you know, it's just a labor of love and a wonderful, inspiring project for me, and I think all of us.
Yeah,
that's what I post in Twitter the other day. I say, Oleg, if the majority of the human beings were like you, with your heart, compassionate, we wouldn't be in this mess right now.
No. Maybe the forces in the book can clone some Olegs.
Yes. Well, there's magic to be done.
Yes, right.
Yeah. And that, coming back around to the social media thing, that is what I try to keep in mind. I wish I could be on and engage more than I do. I don't have that big of a following. I don't think I'm terribly effective, but I try to do what I can. And I'm trying to reach out to people that aren't necessarily about Ukraine, aren't necessarily about the book, aren't necessarily, to expand the reach and the circle, because that's what we need for the books to be successful, for the Kickstarter to be successful. It's all about letting people know. I mean, we started as a small group of followers with Oleg, and these circles keep growing and expanding. And this is where the magic works. The magic keeps tapping us into other circles of people. And now I have good goosebumps. This is good.
You have the goosebumps.
I haven't forgot about that. No offense to my dear Ginny Goose, wherever she may be. But that's the magic of this is, and I think that's kind of like a humanitarian heart thing too. You do good because there's good to be done, and it's the right thing to do. And that's kind of how we, I think, are approaching this in terms of the social media, the outreach and stuff. You never know when somebody you're going to connect with or meet with or mention this to is going to turn out to be somebody who can really help amplify stuff, or it really speaks to their heart, or one of the big benefits that I've had has just been the broadening circles of, I mean, I'm looking at this screen and I know there's many people on this screen who have family or they themselves are under threat with what's going on in Ukraine. So it just kind of helps bring it all back home again, and the reality of what's going on for everybody, whether it's ugly stuff here in the United States, but the ugly stuff that's going on in Ukraine and for our beloved friends there. So community is the heart of all of this, I think, and it's why I'm here, why I think it matters. So I love you all.
And giving positive messages when you can.
Yes.
And that will make change. It might be slow moving, but it will make change. Sorry, I'll shut up. So
you know, the reason I put Fairy Book Mother here for Kelly's title is that she just does everything, and she plugs in at the right time. Is incredibly eloquent. Kelly, your postings on social media are genius. They're authentic and fresh.
I can't think it. It's just if it comes out. Don't put me on the spot because I won't be able to do it.
If you guys don't mind, so that I can get to Oleg.
Yeah, sorry.
Они очень рады, что мы все как бы друг друга нашли, и все, которые мы здесь рядом, сначала нас нашли вас, а потом друг дружку нашли. Ну, с моей стороны, Шарлотта вас нашла, потом меня, а потом вместе познакомились. Ну, вот она говорит, я смотрю на всех нас, и много из нас именно эта война или наших семей, или наших родных, трогает именно так. То, что именно... Да, простите, я очень стараюсь. Уже устаю. Но в том, что мы все вместе здесь, в этом месте, потому что мы хотим, чтобы добро выиграло через, чтобы зла больше не было или в Украине, или здесь, в Америке. Просто очень страшно сейчас смотреть на вот именно политику и на все другое. Но мы должны оставаться вместе, потому что только вместе мы что-то сможем сделать, что-то изменить. Я вот даже думаю про ваш фандрейзер, который вы закрыли сегодня. Это потому, что каждый человек что-то маленькое сделал, и потом здесь теперь есть что-то хорошее от этого. Так что будем продолжать вместе держаться и дальше трудиться, даже если страшно.
Дякую, дуже дякую.
Sorry, Kelly, I did my best to summarize.
Yeah, it's great. Well, we're at an hour and a half.
Я вибачаюсь, мені вже час, тому що ще їхати 2 годинки, так що...
He has to travel 2 more hours, he has to go. Okay,
oh my God. Okay.
Дякую всім.
До побачення, Олег.
До побачення.
And we're going to have a group hug in Kyiv or Odessa
Odessa. Yes.
In the victory.
Дякую.
Be safe, please.
Дякую.
Oh, I know.
Yes.
Anybody have another thought before we wind down here? Next time I'll have a technical director who can line up some, I wanted to put up the video for the that Ryan had done for the Kickstarter, but I just trying to find the right directory and the so we'll line it up better, and it'll be on any of our channels, so do that.
Thank you for this opportunity. I know it's not easy trying to pull it all together, Charlotte, but I really, really appreciate, and I know it's not easy for Oleg to be here, and I'm always tickled just the surprise of who happens to be able to drop in. Great to meet you, Anne, and I love
all of you.
Yeah, let's stay in touch, and I guess we'll keep these up every month. We thought about going quarterly, and then we just had too much to say, I guess.
Yes.
It's community matters. I do think.
Yeah.
None of us will be able to do it every time. 2 o'clock is pushing it for me time wise, so I'm always probably going to be late.
Yeah.
But I think the opportunity for this community matters, and we sometimes have intentions about what we're going to talk about or what we're going to present, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But we're never at a loss for, easy
So it
ways.
seems. Yeah,
I can do it, but when I'm trying to run the, moderate the discussion and, juggle people in and out, and we had more people than ever.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
to have.
good.
But we
I'll
want you to
translate I'll translate for Helena, if that's okay.
Yes, thank you, so.
Helena, простите, я по-украински не очень плохо, не очень хорошо могу перевести, но просто они объясняют. Вас не слышно.
А так?
Да, хорошо. Они говорят, что мы встречаемся здесь каждый месяц, но иногда трудновато понимать, сколько людей будет, если это слишком часто. Мы сначала думали, может, сначала 4 раза в год, но теперь решили все-таки каждый месяц встречаться и пообщаться, и даже поделиться там, как у всех дела, там немножко про книгу.
Да, это хорошо, это приятно.
Да, и мы очень рады, что вы, я вижу, вот вы даже сейчас рисуете, да? Именно для...
Ну да, просто пока у нас нету тревоги, потому что прошлую ночь всю ночь нас бомбили, весь Киев и улицу целую разрушили, поэтому пока есть возможность, я это делаю.
Окей, я переведу. She says she's very happy to be here and very pleased to get to join. And, last night there was a really huge attack on Kiev and many other cities in Ukraine. And there was not a lot of rest. And almost an entire street got demolished. And there's, plenty of evidence online. I know I'm seeing it on X. A lot of the Ukrainian accounts I follow, there's recordings of this. And she lived through it last night. And tonight she's just glad there's no attacks, so she can just draw and listen and be with us, and I'm hoping she can get some rest tonight. So, может, надеюсь, сегодня вы отдохнете, потому что
we pray for quiet skies.
Yes.
Тихое небо.
Слава Україні.
Героям слава.
У мене є питання. Можна? Или я могу по-русски, могу по-украински.
Как хотите, да, давайте.
Как вам удобно, я так могу. У меня есть такой вопрос. Я рисую много, и я участвую во многих выставках. То есть меня знают как художника, да? Я хотела бы спросить, могу ли я эти рисунки, которые уже готовы, запостить в Инстаграм, например, или Фейсбук? Или этого делать нельзя? Я могу это сделать без указания названия автора там и так далее. Просто поделиться, потому что получается, что у меня такой большой промежуток, как будто я ничего не делаю. А мы привыкли, что мы делимся этим всем. Я состою в сообществе художников. Я вот хотела узнать, могу ли я это делать или нет.
So a good question from our illustrator, for Charlotte, I believe. She wants to know, is she able to share these images online that are about book 2, even without like any indicator of the titles or anything, or is this like strictly like 100% not able to go as content for her page? Because she says that she typically shares her art pretty regularly with her art community, but now she's kind of gone silent because of the drawings.
I see,
yeah. So if you can give her some direction.
Yeah, let me think about that. I'd like to have the team sort of weigh in on the pieces before. I mean, if she doesn't say they're absolutely going to be published in a book or something.
I wonder too if, and I don't know that Helena is referring to sort of showing things as works in progress, but maybe the development of a piece, but not the end product, so that we stay true when we're using some of these as Kickstarter rewards or for the future, if the actual finished product hasn't been shown out there. But I don't know that that's going to feel like she's cheating her community, but just something to consider if we can talk about that in a team meeting too.
Yeah, we'll have a team meeting shortly.
But yeah, her community, just like what we're talking about, community.
Yeah. Thank you for asking, though.
Yes.
Дякую.
Хороший вопрос. Они, наверное, с командой пообщаются, но, скорее всего, мысль в том, что вот вы когда выставляете фотографии на Инстаграме или Фейсбуке, они уже закончены или это просто как прогресс? Вот я начала, но я буду еще дальше заканчивать. Или вы
у меня есть рилсы, где я показываю, как я это делаю, и есть просто готовые. Я могу просто поделиться, что, ну вот и такое я тоже умею. Потому что я показала искусствоведу, который для того, чтобы он просто оценил. Я никогда раньше не рисовала иллюстрации. Я вам говорю об этом абсолютно открыто, ничего в этом тайного нет. Я сама сказала Олегу, что я бы хотела попробовать. И вот так я попробовала. И это для меня новый опыт, потому что, во-первых, я очень давно не рисовала акварелью, а во-вторых, тут только одна краска и больше ничего. Ну, то есть только я разбавляю эту черную краску и только двухцветная картинка. У меня таких не было никогда. У меня яркие очень картины. А тут получается, что вот я бы просто поделилась, что вот, ну, как бы своим творчеством, не нарушая никакие, как это сказать, не знаю.
Якщо можна, то я вам дам пораду. Не виставляйте якісь такі, можна якісь начерки виставляти, а кінцеві роботи не треба виставляти, бо їх...
Якщо ви мені кажете, що зовсім не можна, то я їх не буду виставляти зовсім.
Ну, я взагалі не виставляю ніколи, коли я роблю до якоїсь книги щось, бо то може бути, знаєте, авторські права на ту книгу, і можуть по-різному залучати автор і редактор, може бути, ну, я думаю, що тільки ті начерки, які ви не будете включати в книгу, то ви можете їх виставляти, а які кінцеві вже, то їх не треба виставляти, от така моя думка.
Ну, значить, я не буду їх виставляти.
Okay. I'm going to say goodbye to our live listeners, and thank you for tuning in. We'll have this again next month and maybe something in between. So
yeah,
we appreciate
it.
And if you want to stay on and talk, we can. So
okay.
I just wanted, I don't know if anybody's going to listen to an hour and a half of, but it's been good.
Thank you, everyone. Until the